Today, I will do the present to you the fruit of our research, kill them all. DDoS protection total annihilation. First of all, now I'm working in NetSecGuard, a company. You can do any research you want. In here, we have many talented people. He is inspiring us. Make sure, let me have many creative ideas I can share today. I will show you how we try to bypass all the long solution, all the DDoS mitigation solution, and service provider. First of all, thank you for NetSecGuard first, because they sponsor us. So we organized Network Threat Information Sharing and Analysis Center, and we can come to here to share the information. Some information you will be interesting. Some information it is sensitive. First of all, here is our agenda. I will spend around 5 minutes to give the background and the motivation. After that, we're talking about the authentication in here, because all the authentication I'll be showing here is the most accurate and effective nowadays. If we can bypass it, that means we can hit the server directly. After that, we have the live demo. We show the evidence to your guys to prove that what we done. Little bit boring, huh? First of all, the attack size now is much more large because the internet coverage. Now, every guys, they will have the computer, but their security sensors still the same. So the botnet, that means they can hack much more. We have much more zombie. The result is that attack size become much more large. Another one, the frequency of the attack. Actually, I will say the attacker, he only will attack you in your peak hour. Give you an example that happened in Hong Kong. One of the stock exchange, they are under DDoS attack. The result is that the whole Hong Kong stock market is stopped that date. Another one, the complexity of the attack, because the bandwidth attack is expensive. So the result is that they try to make the attack much more complex. Give example, I use the 10 gig attack to terminate some service, but now we just use maybe 2 megabits per second. The layer 7 attack, we already can do it. After that, the result is the cost is talking about USD 6 million per hour. So let me introduce the attack known today. First is a volume metric attack. Just use one sentence. They only focus the attack size. No matter is TCP, UDP, ICMP, what kind of the meta code, they only focus the size. Another one is a semantic attack. Maybe I use another terms, protocol-based, application-based. They are attacking the weakness of the protocol. Give an example, GetFUD, slowest attack. They are attacking the HTTP protocol and TCP protocol. Now, they are focused on the application level. Application level, that means maybe they are attacking the database, API. The last is the bandit attack. Bandit attack actually is the idea, use one DDoS attack to hide another DDoS attack. Give example. There are 30 gig of the same file is attacking you. In the same time, they will send the layer 7 attack. But this layer 7 attack may be just 1 megabit per second, but this complex attack will crash your server because they confuse you. All your focus is, the graph is all your level graph is the same file, something like that. But you misunderstand that because they use the application attack to attack you and crash you. First of all, we have the matrix in here to show you. The matrix is a summarized characteristic of the volumetric attack and semantic attack. The S-axis represent the attack complexity. The Y-axis is represent the attack size. In here, we see some mitigation we can use in here. All is the basic mitigation, but the most important aspect of the mitigation start with detection. So we can add this one, because if we cannot detect the attack, how will we mitigate it? And then we have the detection in here. The main thing, we can classify in 3 kinds. Rate measurement, baselining. There's a use the rate base and flow base. In here, they will show you the packet the level graph. Give example, the packet per second, bit per second, and what kind of the protocol they attack you. Another one is protocol sanity tracking and protocol behavior. Protocol sanity is the focus on to tracking the malformed protocol. Protocol behavior, this one is focused on the traffic utilization. Application log, actually maybe we will give you some hints under DDoS attack. So if we combine all together, we will become the big data analysis. So this is our tools, kill them all. Actually, we have the 3 sessions. I will show you how we attack to bypass all the detection I showed you before. First of all, I will focus on the TCP option and HTTP option. At last, we're talking about the authentication bypass. Something we are doing automatically. Give example. We can we have the traffic pattern simulation, just like the traffic behind the policy. I will explain detail in the later. Another one, we have the HTTP header simulation. So the result is that the attack traffic is same as the normal traffic. If you drop the attack traffic, that means you drop the normal traffic. So how we do it? First of all, we use the policy in here. The program we will use in the same connection. We will use the same user agent. When we send the attack out, just like the traffic behind the policy. So in this one, when we send out the attack, you try to analyze it. You just seen that all the attack just like come from a policy. This one can empower the attack. Another one is HTTP header simulation. In this case, because the HTTP header will be changed during the request. Give example, the first request we send to get a web page in the HTTP is access sing/sings. That means we didn't know what we need to take. After that, the server replied to you. So with second request, we will show you just in here, access image GIF, image JPEG, image something. So in our tools, we automatically to do this one, just like the real traffic. Because the given now, all is the same, the pattern. Our pattern will change as same as the normal traffic. After that, we will focus on the TCP option and power. First of all, the TCP option design is against to the detection. And then we try to empower the attack power up. At last, we will use a query string. Let me show you. Is one of the example how we use the TCP option against the detection. In here, we can fully control every TCP state. This one is an example of a slow loris attack. In here, you will see that after three-way handshake, we can hold it. After a period of time, we send the first push ad. Why we do this one? Because we can, after we hold a connection, that means we can know the limitation, the parameter, the detection they set it. After we send the first push ad, the ad is replied, we also will hold it again. Because this one just how we extend the TCP established status. Because if we try to extend this one, the attack power will be much more strong. Because how to say this one? It is because if all the active connection is spend much more resources. Just give you a compare. This is an old-fashioned HTTP attack, but sing ad, push ad, after the ad finish ad and close the connection. This kind of attack, you can see it. The result is that your server just high CPU, and then you will keep the constant of the number of the connection. But your server is no impact, just high CPU still can come here and HTTP 200 reply. Nothing. So how we do it? If we wish to attack, we need to do it like that. First of all, with three-way handshake, push ad the first request. After that, don't close the connection. We keep send the push ad. I mean the HTTP request. The result is that this time, the server with high memory, They were not just the high CPU, because the one they crash your server is high memory for will not have his CPU. Another thing is that because we try to keep the connection, so the connection will keep increasing. The result is that maybe after 5 seconds, 10 seconds, your server is HTTP 503, service unavailable. This one is never common. Another one we will do with force no cache. How we do it? Just easy. We just use the query string, a question mark. After the question mark, have the random call, because for the point of the view of your server or the load balance of the policy, this kind of the query string, they will think that it's a new request, so they will not cache you and then let you bypass. The result is that, just the example I show you, I try to download a large PDF and then use the query string. The result is that your bandwidth will use up. After that, we will go through the source host verification one by one. All the authentication in here actually is the last, also is the depth line that we can try to mitigate the attack. First, I'll show you the TCP sync authentication, the TCP reset. That one, they authenticate based on the favorite handshake, the TCP layer. First, we send the sync. He will not let you pass. He will intercept you. After that, we will have the sync add. He will reset to you. This one is the mitigation device. We try to active close you. Reset is different to finish add. Reset, that means I think that the connection have problem, I will terminate it. After that, when we retry the sync, we will pass it. So that is the TCP sync. Another one I want to show is TCP out of sync. This one, they will need to be tricky. When I send a sync, here we put the sync add. The sequence number is wrong. What will happen if the sequence number is wrong? This time the client will reset the connection. After that, if he see you, the source IP is same, you come again, he will think that, oh, you're the real IP, and then he will let you pass. So what is the difference between the TCP reset and TCP out of sync? Actually, when we handle the DDoS attack or the sync fuck, what really happened? We send the sync add, and then we will send the reset because we use the spoof IP. What's mean by the spoof IP? That means you will not add, you only send one sync in this case. So the result is same. But why they decide like that? Because the efficiency handle a real user is totally different. Give you an example. The TCP reset, if you add all the packet together, just mention total length is different to the packet length, packet size, because the header length all is alternative, so we will not count in here. You will see that the TCP reset is 180 byte, and TCP out of sync we just use the bandwidth around 140. So in here we will find that the TCP out of sync seems is better. Is it really better? I will show you another one. Actually, we can bypass easily use the spoof IP. I use the spoof IP can bypass the TCP sync authentication. In this case, we try to use the same source IP send the sync. When no matter he reply the sync or not, we just send the reset again. And then we send the sync again. Use this kind of the methodology. 33% of the attack can bypass it. I mean the spoof sync can bypass the TCP sync authentication. But actually, the traditional sync they are 40 bytes. They're missing something. Maybe you are not hard to find some news to show you, I can mitigate 100 gig attack. I can mitigate 200 gig attack, something like that. Because they haven't shown you this, some secret. Because if the TCP sync is 40 byte, we can drop it by the ISP directly. Actually, TCP will not 40 byte because according to the RFC decide, the TCP sync, he will left the the TCP option because the first sync, he will try to let you know give example, the maximum segment size. He will tell you how many segments I can use it. So when we try to simulate as real sync traffic again, I will suggest In the IP layer, please randomize the TTL because the attack now all is 255. It's boring. You just see the strict line. Oh, this is attack. I dropped by the TTL. Another one, please randomize your window size. Window size just will tell you what is your OS. Give example, maybe Windows 5535, something like that. This one it also need to spoof. Give example, maybe I spoof the Windows XP, Windows MT, or Windows 8, Windows 7, something like that. And then we need to add the correct option. Because if we add this one, the ISP cannot drop it easily this time. So another authentication I wish to show is HTTP redirect authentication. In this one, we will focus on the layer 7. When the first GET we send, it will redirect a path. If your client can redirect back, he will redirect you back the first path you wanted to go. The result is that you can pass it. So what is the key to bypass HTTP redirect? First of all, we need to find out detect the HTTP 302. Because when you capture this one, that means they have the HTTP redirect. You need to do something. The second thing is you need to, in the same time, you need to make sure they have a location, http://a.c.com. So if we find the 302 and location, that means they have HTTP redirect. In this time, you just load the script until they come back HTTP 200, that means bypassed. So easy. Because just a simple program like wget curl also can do it. So we enhance it with HTTP cookies in this time. This time, not just redirect, we add the cookies. If the client, he can add the cookie and reply it back. He will redirect you back to the page you want to go. The result is that this time you can pass it and whitelist you. So what is the key to bypass the cookies? First of all, we need to detect set cookies. The keyword is if they have the set cookies, that means they have offend code. You just you need to copy it. Another thing you need to make sure is the expire. Because the expire, it is the sense to tell you how to set the re-authentication. Because now the authentication, he will use time-based or traffic-based. Give an example. Maybe you authenticate it. After 5 minutes, you need to authenticate again. So this time, we told you the threshold you need to set. So, but sometimes, if you in the third HTTP redirect request, you saw this one, offend code deleted, that means backlog. Why? Because that means every time you change the cookies. So you need to do the authentication every time. We also have the enhanced one. The HTTP cookies use the header token. In this case, you will see that he will use a HTTP header is not common. This time they use HTTP header. Maybe in our case we use x-header colon something. Other things it seems as the cookies authentication. So, but this one have the problem, the policy dependency behavior. Why we have this problem? Because if you wanted to develop the header token, that means you need to use the API, address, and XHR tool. But the problem is that this kind of the technique till now is not comparable to all of the browser. The result is the render cannot fully use all the function. So we just simulate the traffic flow, we can bypass it. And then we have the JavaScript offend. Actually, this one is most challenging now. Again, we send a GET. I will give you a hint. He will give you a JavaScript. And then he will ask you to calculate something this time. If you can calculate and post the result, he will redirect you back to the index page. So he will whitelist you and you can pass it. The key to bypass the JavaScript is that, first of all, JavaScript is client-side program. What does it mean by client-side program? That means you just open your Wireshark, HTTP watch, you can find the path and download it. JavaScript is human can understand. That means you can read it, analyze it. After that, we can use a different algorithm to bypass it. First of all, after that, we can calculate the result, just simulate the traffic flow and bypass it. All the guys doing this one now. Another one is that we use the client deployment mode and server deployment mode to cover the method. Actually, we use the auto bypass. I will show you because our program is just 1 megabyte. What is the client deployment mode? In this case, we will add the JavaScript engine inside the board, but this one have the limitation because we just can run something. It's purely JavaScript only. It's no W3C, DOM, I mean, maybe some parameter inside HTML and then you need to call it back in the JavaScript. Cannot. Another case, we use the application bundle, in this case, the server in here. So when every time the CMC server, they ask the botnet to attack, the botnet will communicate to this server. He will send back, he will zip the file and send back to the server, and then he will show a calculation by this server. After that, he will give back to the client and then to bypass it. Okay. The captcha, actually this one, I would say, is the most effective and accurate, but the problem is that the user experience very poor because sometimes people also cannot understand the captcha. Again, just same as the JavaScript authentication. This one, he will use the, after you fill in something and post it, and then we redirect back, and then you can pass it. So, what is the key to bypass the captcha? I have something wrong, but never mind. First of all, we need to find out the path of the BMP. I mean the offend page, just the captcha page. Because if you can download it, that means you can use some algorithm to bypass it. After that, the challenge is that embedded the captcha engine in the botnet, we will use the same method as the JavaScript. Just simulate the traffic flow, use the client deploy model, or use server deploy model. But actually, if you come to DefCon, you'll find that we have many captcha engines. We can download it and then can use it and add in our program. So this is the summary of the source host of our verification. First of all, they will verify your long-spooted source IP or not. After that, the HTTP redirect and cookies, they will verify is it HTTP compatible appliance or not. Now, JavaScript, they will verify you are the real browser or not. The captcha, he will try to verify you are real human or not. After we bypass all of them, we can attack directly.
So Tony bring out a very important point that in today's detection and mitigation techniques, we have to rely on the source host verification. And once we can bypass these verification, we can get to the back end directly, and the attack are all to the back end. So our proof of concept tool is trying to bypass this authentication. First, we try 3 times because the first time expected TCP sync authentication, it will fail because it will reset you or it will send a wrong sequence number to let you reset. So the second authentication, we suppose it will success. And the third authentication, we are just for sure make sure it is correctly put our IP into the whitelist, for example. And also to make the attack or the authentication more like a real user, we will have a true TCP/IP behavior handled by the operating system TCP/IP stack directly. And also from the POC tool, especially the cookie authentication, the HTTP cookie will be carried on the following attack packets. because even you are putting into the whitelist, if you don't have the cookie in the subsequent attack, you might be blocked. And also the JavaScript we are implemented using a using something like Spider Monkey or V8 JavaScript engine. Currently, we don't have a Doom implemented in that included, but this is just a matter of time. And finally, about the captcha, as you can see, or in the coming video, you will see how this screen comes from. The design is that to make our attack tool sending a correct captcha back to the mitigation device. The design is that we first convert the color image to a black and white and maximize the contrast, and then apply the median filter to filter out the noise, and then segment the word into individual characters and find out the boundary of each of the character. Finally, we simply calculate the pixel difference. You might think that this is very rough implementation, but it can successfully break the captcha by more than 50%. In fact, if you want a higher rate of captcha authentication, you need a captcha library. I think DefCon presented a lot on this, no matter in this year and the past years. About after bypassing all the authentication, now comes to the attack. In the attack, we have the TCP options and also the HTTP options. What TCP options talking about is control the timing of the TCP connections. We can control the number of connections established to the backend server. Why backend server? Just because we bypass it. And we can hold the connection for a certain of time. This, as Tony mentioned, this benefits for the slowest attack. And also we can handle the connection idle timeout before after the last HTTP request. And we can control the connection interval so that to avoid something hitting the threshold of the mitigation device. For the HTTP options, it actually is that within the TCP connection, there is a period to sending multiple requests. This request, each HTTP request is an HTTP connection. We can control the number of connections and also the intervals of each connections. And now we are showing the video. Let us see how it runs in real examples. First of all, we look at HTTP redirect. That means you can see in the left part of the user interface, the first checkbox. From our testing, the left side is the client side. As you can see, the client launched our QDemo tool. And the right side is the server side. As you can see, the web server log. On both sides, we have a packet capture. Wireshark is capturing the packets. When we start launching the attack, and you can see this is the authentication. This is the authentication part. You can see because the first time it this one returned a free return a 302, so it redirect. It is a redirect authentication. So, and you see subsequent 200 OK for 3 times because, as I said, we're doing the authentication for 3 times for sure. Now, let's see what next. After authentication, you can see from the parameters, we hold a few seconds and then send 4 requests. This is the first one. You can see from the query string, started with E, and then the second one started with N, etc. And the 4 requests are all going to the back end, as you can see, both from the server side, Wireshark, and both the server web server log. Next, we are going to the HTTP cookie authentication. For the same setting, the testing environment, you can also see the redirection because it requires you to send back the cookie. And also, you can see 4 different requests going to the back end. Yes, in the testing environment, we use 4. But in a botnet environment, I don't think in your server you will receive 4, too little, because you will have so many bots. Let us pick a attack, and one of the attack HTTP requests. You can see, as I said before, the authentication cookie is carried to the attack. There is a cookie field in this attack packet. Now goes to the JavaScript authentication. This one we are using a CDN to test. As you can see, the JavaScript is quite sophisticated. It holds your authentication for some time, and then it also has a cookie embedded in it. And from the right side, you can see the server side. You can see the 4 attacks. You can see the 4 attacks are all goes to the backend server after we bypass our JavaScript. Let us take a look at this one. And as you can see, even if this is JavaScript, it also has a cookie field there. And the cookie clearance means that we are successfully bypassing the JavaScript. And lastly, we are showing about the captcha authentication. This one with the same, and you can see from the authentication phase, the mitigation device has the captcha image, the bitmap sent back, and then we have the 4 subsequent attack goes to the back end. And we are interested in whether it is really bypassing a correct captcha image. So we pick up a packet about after we recognize the bitmap and send it out, and you can see this is a WMGK which match the original bitmap. So this is our tool, kill them all, integrating both the authentication and the attack phase. As you can see from the video, our tools simulate the true TCP/IP behavior through the OS TCP/IP stack, and we have a believable HTTP header so that no matter it is a mitigation device or a cloud CDN environment, it believes our HTTP headers are true. And also we have embedded JavaScript engine so that it will not, it is not bulky, it is lightweighted. And also we have our OCaptcha solving capability. And to maximize the successful rate, we randomize the payload, including HTTP headers such as user agents, and also tunable post-authentication, timing, and traffic models. In conclusion, all these settings making it indistinguishable from human. How indistinguishable it is? You can see. We can from our testing, the date of our testing, you can see from the slide. We try for, this is the CDN, we tried for 11 times, each time we have 4 requests. So you can see 44 requests. And from what the CDN portal, we can see that all are regular traffic. No bots, no threats. 44 is a small number. In real life, you will receive 44 million. So it comes testing environment. For the device, that means for the four authentication, some are doing on the device, some are doing on the CDN. This is the setting that against the device and against the cloud, we put the server behind the mitigation device and the client side on the other side of the internet. This is the result and summary. And I'm not intended to talk about here, but you can see we do a lot of testing to make sure it is all bypassed and the attacks are successful. These are all as well. These are the 2 secure CDNs. So it comes to the end of our presentation, and you can check out our new version of tools here. Thank you.